can see the pork and the beef are mixed pretty well between it. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna do a cook on a cast iron pan. It's nice and even. You can use obviously a regular pan, but I find that burger cooks really well on cast iron just because it's so even. You don't have any oil or any fat sitting on the outside. You can cook 4 or 5 burgers. So I'm just gonna turn this on medium high right now to start. And I just have a little bit of butter in there, just kind of just coat the outside. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit.
Just wait a second, nobody's on yet. Just take a second.
While it's warming up.
There you go, someone's on. We're just letting the pan heat up, guys. We're gonna start cooking this moose meat, so.
Okay, so we'll take a little bit of sample here. Just to make a little small burger. So it'll cook quick. Nice and thin, because we want to just, before we make these into patties, we want to make sure that the salt content and the allspice content is right. So with the cast iron pan, take another minute or so to warm up. But once it is warm, you can even see how the butter is melting and there's not pooling in the pan, which is great. That's what you want. So again, if this was just moose burger, you wouldn't necessarily have to cook it to pork, you want to cook it to probably 170 if it's burger, 175. If it's just moose, you wouldn't have to get it that high just because you don't have the risk. So because we've mixed the pork, we need to get this cooked the whole way through. So I'm just going to let that cook for a second. It's getting hot. Now, William, do you want to be the one to try it?
Yeah.
See if the content's good. You can let it cook here for another minute. And make sure that the salt is through it and the allspice is right.
Got 9 on now. 11. Come back.
So again, this is just our test burger. You see. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually make these into meatballs. They're absolutely wonderful for spaghetti sauce. We like them just done in burgers, but you can certainly use them. You could actually do a meatloaf out of that as well. That would be another way that you could use it. We actually did some smoked meatloaf a couple weeks ago that turned out really, really well, and that was made with deer burger. So a similar recipe, a little bit higher moisture content, and then we did a 4-hour smoke on the little loaves, and again, they'd be perfect for freezing. This is almost ready. You can see how it's browning up, and that's because of the pork fat that's in it. If you just were doing moose, that wouldn't have that brown that quick because it's so lean. Okay, William, I'll let you try it out. Can you grab a fork?
Yep. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I think that was my piece.
So I can instantly taste the allspice. It's perfect. So we're good. So I think you can always add a little bit of salt when you're mixing them out. But the allspice and the garlic is perfect in it. So we're gonna go with this. We'll start rolling up some burgers. And get them ready for a pan. So I like to make big burgers, usually too big. But it's nice to keep them fairly thin just because the outside is going to want to burn like we did in those ones. So you want to make sure that your internal temperature gets to where it needs to be. So if you can make them thinner and keep them flat in the pan because they have a tendency to ball up. So if you don't put too much in your burger. You don't make them too big. Because if you really love the meat, you want it a real thick one, you could actually double them up. You could put 2 on a bun, but one of these burgers is it's quite a meal, to be honest. So. Again, so if you were making a spaghetti sauce, or if you wanted to have these done ahead, you could certainly freeze them in meatball size and have them ready for the freezer. Okay, so there's 4 burgers, we'll cook them up. And I guess one of the points of the video is that because we harvest a lot of animals, it's good if you're wild game, if you guys like wild game as much as we do. We try to be creative to keep things different and be able to use the protein in different ways throughout the year because this year we harvested lots of deer. Ashley shot a big moose this year as well, so our freezers are full. So being able to, use pork and different things with it to accommodate the leanness of the meat also allows us to keep those meals fresh and different all the time because we end up eating it a lot. We don't even really eat beef hardly at all anymore just because we have so much wild game. So hope you enjoyed the video and look forward to maybe sharing some other recipes down the road with you.